To create a proposal on Homebase, you need to make sure that you have enough staked tokens to create your proposal. How many tokens you need to create a proposal on a particular DAO is a parameter that is configured at the moment that DAO is configured. So it is a parameter that varies from DAO to DAO. In this particular DAO, the amount required is only 1 token, which I have already staked in a previous period. So I can now use that staked token. The second condition that must be met is that the DAO is on a creation period. Remember that every DAO on Homebase goes through 2 types of periods: creation periods, where proposals are created, and voting periods, where proposals are voted on. So, since we are currently on a creation period, and we have enough staked tokens, we can create a proposal. Let's go to the proposals screen, where we can see a full list of all of the DAO's proposals. Click on the New Proposal button, and we see the Transfer Proposal Creation form, which is the only possible form that we're going to see in this DAO, because it is a treasury DAO, so it can only create this kind of proposal. A transfer proposal is very simple. It just needs a recipient to receive the transferred funds, and which asset from the DAO you want to transfer. In this case, we'll go with XTZ. Here, you can see how much of the selected asset the DAO currently holds, and just type a positive amount to transfer. Next, you would type the ID of the Agora post, where the discussion for this proposal is happening. You can leave it at 0 if there isn't any. And here, you would see the proposal fee, which is the amount of tokens that you need to have staked for this proposal to be created, which we had already stated that it was just 1. Now, we click on Send. Confirm the operation, and wait for the operation to be confirmed. This will take a moment. And then just wait for Homebase's indexer to pick it up. Now that the list got updated, we see that the proposal we've just created appears with a pending status. If we click on it, we can see all of its details. How much of which asset is going to be transferred, to which address, who created it, a history of all the statuses that it has gone through, which is currently only pending, and how many votes are needed for this particular proposal to pass or to be rejected. What does it mean for it to have a pending status? It means that it has been created successfully, but the DAO is still in a creation period. So we have to wait for this cycle to end and for the next cycle to start, which is a voting cycle, for this proposal to become active, so that we are able to vote on it. So let's wait for that to happen. Now that the voting cycle has started, we can see that our previously created proposal, which had a pending status, now has an active status, which means that we can vote on this proposal. If we vote in favor, with more than we need for this proposal to pass, we will see that the votes will be reflected here. And when we click on the View button and see the list of votes. But this is, of course, after the operation gets confirmed. Now that the operation has been confirmed, we see our votes reflected here. And if we click on the View button, we will see that the votes here with our address and also the amount we put on this proposal. However, we cannot execute this proposal as soon as the quorum threshold has been met. Because, remember that when DAOs are created, we configure an execution delay for proposals. And we need to wait for that execution delay to pass before a proposal becomes executable. So let's simply wait for that to happen. Now that the voting cycle has ended, we see that the proposal, which cannot be voted on anymore, has been marked as passed, given that our votes very well passed the quorum threshold. However, even if it's marked as passed, we cannot execute it yet because the execution delay hasn't yet passed. So let's wait for that to happen. Now that enough levels have passed, and the proposal execution delay has finally passed, our proposal shows as executable, and so now we can execute it. As long as there are no expired or rejected proposals in our DAO. If we have a rejected or expired proposal, we need to manually drop it. But since in this case we don't have any, we can just click on Execute. And we wait for it to be confirmed and picked up by our indexer. Now that it has been executed, we see that our proposal is now marked as executed. If we click on it, we can see a history of the statuses that it has gone through, in which levels, and how it has finally been executed, and the XTZ have been credited to the proper address.